Hello, and welcome to Cryptids Creatures, the podcast where we dive deep into the unknown monsters that lurk in the dark. I'm Cerra Cameron.
And I'm Izik Kyer.
And I'm Heath. So, the Bronzea dragon, or as we will refer to it in this podcast as the dragon, is from a specific region in Russia near a town called Andriopol, and it supposedly lives in a lake with the depth of 141 feet.
That's pretty deep. What's the basis on this? Does it come from, is it known to be, a fish monster? Is it like a fishy dragon? Does it have wings?
It doesn't have wings, but it is considered to be called a dragon-like figure with a fish-like head.
Fish head?
Fish head.
Fish head.
All right, so if it's got this fish head, okay, so when did this dragon appear? When was that first sighted?
So all the stuff was dated back farther into the 13th century, was where it was supposedly dated back. There is multiple legends about it, and there is earlier sightings that have been in 1996 through 1997 of frequent large anomalies swimming back and forth in the waters and stuff like that, I guess.
They just saw something big swimming and just
Dragon.
Something big.
So people have people actually seen it, or have they just seen the ripples in the water?
It was said in 1996 that a family of 3 took a blurry picture of the monster after their son said there was a dragon-like figure in the lake.
You know, we got the stereotypical blurry pictures.
Yes,
it seems like
so
every single
stereotypical.
time someone spots some sort of cryptid or something abnormal or not of the ordinary, it's always on some blurry picture. It makes
Bigfoot.
no sense.
I mean, I don't know. If I saw a dragon,
1996.
that's true. 1996. I mean, people were still using camcorders.
Yeah, but then again, still some stuff in the modern age still resorts to the blurry camera stuff. So
yeah, I mean, if you're gonna make up a cryptid to get money, blurry picture.
Blurry pictures.
But anyways, if this dates back pretty far, so what's the lake called again?
It's actually named after the dragon.
Brosnia?
Yes, it's named after Brosnia. The Brosnia Lake, I believe, is what they call it now.
Because I did a little bit of research before diving in here, and I thought it was Brosno, with an O at the end. All right.
Brosno.
And that's is this like a big town, or is it like a little town?
It's a tiny town.
And so little town by a lake, got your standard cryptid. So does it do anything? Is it just there? Does it steal children from the tiny town?
So there's a few legends on it. One of the mysterious tales is that, I'm gonna butcher this name, Charmaglea, still butchered it, army. They were heading to Novgorod in the 13th century, and their leader...
Here, what was the name?
I don't know.
Oh, Tattermongol.
Tattermongol. No, but allegedly...
Allegedly what?
Allegedly, it stopped the troops because they were going to take over the town, and it came out of the water roaring as the beast emerged, and it devoured animals and soldiers. And the troops were so terrified they turned back.
Wow. I mean, I guess that's one way to stop yourself from being invaded. Have a giant dragon in your lake.
I mean,
Yes.
Yeah, you're right, but doing something that significant, you'd think it'd be a little bit more...
Known?
Yeah, a little bit more than just a blurry picture.
Exactly, and more fleshed out, too, so... If that many people saw it, it stopped a full frontal attack.
That's true, but I mean,
13th century,
it may have been the 13th century and there wasn't the technology available then to photograph it, but if it was going to do something like that then, I mean, wouldn't other things in the modern era, wouldn't something else happen similar to that and cause it to reveal itself again?
You know, people actually wrote stuff back then, too, so...
Yeah, does it hibernate? Is that...
We have no idea.
So it's basically just... It's just a dragon that pops up whenever.
So basically, did it? I'm not quite understanding why the dragon would go and eat the army. Was the army going to do something to the lake? Were they attacking the town?
I think they were about to attack the town.
But why would the dragon care? I mean, honestly,
perhaps it's
the guardian,
or a manifestation of some. Yeah, like how there's river guardians and stuff, something like that. Manifestation of the lake itself.
Yeah, that's interesting because
it's just a dragon with a fish head.
You know, it just kind of pops up out of nowhere and just yo, I decided to be hungry today. I think I'm gonna grab a snack of human.
Just take a child from this little town.
Yes, McDonald's, one kid, please.
Are there like any disappearances or anything? Like
there was no disappearances as far as I know. And as far as I have researched, another one of the legends state that it was an ally sympathizer in World War II.
Wait, the dragon was a sympathizer?
For the Allies. For the U.S. and their troops. And it managed somehow to swallow a whole entire Nazi airplane.
Wow.
But I thought this
was
a small town.
That definitely, well, it's a small town, but I guess it's a big lake with a big dragon. So
apparently, but
do you have any idea roughly how big these airplanes were?
No, not really.
No?
It wasn't
I'm sure. I mean, yeah, airplanes back then weren't super big, but still, just thinking about that, I mean, having a creature that's capable of consuming something that.
I mean, if we're talking
that'd
about
be kind of scary.
If we're talking about standard Waffen SS, it's gotta be pretty. It's a pretty decently sized airplane. They're pretty known for that stuff. So.
Which means that it's got to be a pretty big dragon.
Yeah. Like, and plus,
is it even a dragon? I mean, we've seen all sorts of stuff in the depths of our ocean. I mean, it could be something kind of like that.
Yeah, but
I mean, over years, maybe it's like, is it the same creature?
That's what people don't know. They don't know if it's the same creature or if it's like an offspring. We don't fully know about that yet.
That's interesting.
And they've only ever seen one at once, right?
Yeah, they've only seen one at once.
So I guess the only logical conclusion would be that it's some kind of immortal cryptid.
Well, that's nice. Remind me to never go swimming again.
And so the only people who've seen it was that one family. Like, the only people who have, like, physical evidence of it.
Was that one family, as far as has been open to the public. That's been the only family that's actually seen it.
So you think there's more stuff that's, like, hidden behind, like, closed doors?
Government.
Yeah, maybe.
It's like Stranger Things all over
There's a whole bunch of stuff that the government might be hiding from us.
I mean, you're right. That is the kind of thing. I mean, if there was actually, like, a dragon or even some kind of creature that could consume a whole airplane, I mean, down in that lake, I doubt the government would go, hey, by the way, there's a dragon here, because that would cause panic.
Yeah, that would cause mass panic. And once again, as I stated, that the depth was 141 feet.
That's not super deep, but that's pretty deep.
But recently, they have found that there is pockets in the lake where it can go deeper down, and they have no idea how far that goes at the moment.
Like, sort of like cave type things? Like down in there?
Yeah, like caves.
Dang, those gotta
be some kind of like a den.
I mean, yeah, but they gotta be some pretty large caves considering it was able to eat an airplane.
Yeah, I mean...
They don't know how far it goes down.
Maybe it's like sort of worm-like?
Yeah, maybe sort of worm-like.
That would be interesting. Gigantic
Do you have the picture?
No, I could not find the picture. I went searching through. I can never find the picture from it.
So now there's just... through our research, there's just a supposed picture. Since we weren't able to find the original image, I mean...
Yeah, I mean, it honestly...
Usually
I hate to say it, but it honestly, it seems like it could be real, even though there's not that much evidence. I mean, I am personally a sucker for the, like, lake, river spirits, forest spirits kind of thing. But, you know, I think it could be like that, or it could be some kind of, like, giant, like, creature, like... We've seen all sorts of weird fossils and stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, and I don't know what goes on in Russia. I don't know what kind of experiments they're doing, but
communism.
Woo!
Yeah, but okay. So, have there been any modern sightings like at all? Like any like
ever like since like '96?
I mean, because that could support the idea that it's not like an immortal cryptid and it like actually died.
Now, here's something that I found.
But then again, you would find remains or at least a skeleton of something that big.
Unless it's down in, like, those pockets.
Yeah, true.
It said, I'm going to directly read this from right here, and it says, in 1997, additional reports of this animal swimming across two onshore settlements caused yet another frenzy of terror along Brunswick's coast. In the middle of summer 2002, experts of a research association went into an expedition into the lake and did a deep echolocation sounding. The results of the expedition has yielded perhaps the most bizarre development in this case to date. The Moscow newspaper Argument and Facts interviewed the coordinator and they discuss this strange discovery they made in the lake. This is a direct quote from him, and it says, "Echo deep sounding registered an anomaly that was a huge jelly-like mass of a railway car hanging 5 meters above the bottom. The mass stood motionless. We waited for some time and decided to make it move. We threw an underworld petard, a low-capacity explosive device. When the device blew up, the creature started going up."
Wait, they threw a bomb at this gelatinous thing they found?
Jelly!
Yes. The creature started to go up, and we stared at the water. It was clear there's nothing resembling a monster. However, something unusual was still felt in the lake water.
Maybe it's something that, can, you guys have seen all those, horror movies where it's, some kind of gelatinous monster that can change its shape. In Stranger Things, there's, the latest season, there's the flesh monster thing that they can do. That's kind of the
mind
vibe.
Flayer.
Yeah, but it's, the flesh monster specifically. That's kind of what I'm thinking here. It can change its shape, maybe?
Yeah. But there's a lot of theories on it. There is a big theory about it saying that it might be a mutant beaver.
A beaver? I don't think beavers are gelatinous.
And have dragon fish heads.
Yeah. But then it also...
That would be a pretty outrageous mutation.
And also another one was it might be a giant pike that is old enough to be over 100 or 150 years. And that... Or then when people stated that it might be hydrogen sulfide that comes up from the bottom of the lake.
So, there's a lot of theories out there. I don't think we can come to a solid conclusion without much more evidence.
Yeah. Personally, I'm just going to say this here. I do not believe in this. There's not enough evidence, and I'm a very fact for fact kind of person. I mean, I take things when I can see them and when I can prove their existence. Sometimes I get very skeptical, though I do believe in most of this kind of stuff. I mean, there's just too many plot holes almost. It's now there's been no sightings in the modern era. I mean, the sightings, you said, 96 and 97. 97 could have just been, another craze kind of sighting thing. It's kind of like what happened with Bigfoot. I mean, it's almost it's hype. It's the new trend, fidget spinners.
Maybe it's, I kind of want to believe this. I kind of want to think about it oh yeah, it is some kind of thing. But I was really thinking about it, and I was thinking it could make sense. And then you mentioned the gelatinous part, and that kind of shook my focus a bit.
Yeah, I mean, in the original mythos, it said that it was a dragon-like creature with a fish head.
I mean, maybe
that doesn't really represent the
jelly.
Description. Yeah, that's not really jelly. And then they went on to say there's nothing really unusual. Well, nothing cryptid-like, but more of an unusual thing down there. That literally could have been anything. There's a bunch of stuff that can be mistaken for anything down there.
Perhaps it's this was this is gonna sound really out there, but perhaps it is some kind of creature that reached the end of its lifespan and changes form maybe, or it could be something that was some kind of creature that was mutated and it's just slowly the body of it has withered away and now it's just left with whatever had mutated in the first place.
Yeah.
Which could be that jelly mass.
Yeah.
Jelly.
But that's really out there, so...
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, and then you get the whole attacking the plane thing. Honestly, it said that it's a small town, and the lake doesn't seem to be that big. 141 feet deep is a pretty decent depth.
Yeah, that's a pretty decent depth. Speaking of all of this, we can finally move on to our second segment, which is a lightning round. Now, the lightning round, it's a quiz for just a few minutes for a quiz, and this time it's going to cover Russian Slavic mythology. So, you guys ready to get started?
Yeah, I'll just pick the most Russian-sounding things.
All right, so I'm going to give you, the first few are going to be multiple choice. So we're going to start with this one. Which Roman deity is most similar to the Slavic Lilia, goddess of spring and mercy? A, Artemis, B, Diana, C, Metis, or D, Selene?
Artemis.
You guys think it's Artemis? Yeah. All right, you would be right. You would be correct. All right, that's great. What is the general Slavic term for God? A, bog, B, Makash. I think I might be butchering these pronunciations. C, Sud, or D, Vit.
I'm going to say Viet.
I also have to agree. I think B is right.
You're both wrong.
I'm
It's
gonna
bog.
cry.
A bog.
So it's like some of the gods, like for example, Stribog, which is we'll just go right to that question. So Stribog, whose name translates to wealth spreader, is the god of blank. Fill in the blank.
Well,
Wealth, money.
Nope.
Okay.
I'm gonna give you guys another try, another shot at it.
I'm thinking
Crops.
Anything from you, Ella?
harvest.
Lala.
No. Stribog is actually the god of winds and storms.
You know, no.
Hey man, I don't know what they're doing.
I don't make the gods.
I don't make the gods. All right.
Okay.
What two things do the Slavic gods Belobog and Cernobog? You see that ending bog.
Yeah.
So what do they represent most literally? White and black, sun and moon, hot and cold, or male and female. Now, multiple of these might work, but what's the most
Wait,
literal?
what's their names again?
Belobog and Chernobog. Like Chernobyl.
Sun and moon.
You think sun and moon?
Yeah, 'cause why
Male and
not?
female.
Oh, you guys are finally splitting. You're both wrong. Now, generally they represent pure opposites, so either could be right, I guess. Although I'm not so sure about sun and moon. They're generally represented as being the gods of white and black, respectively, because those are the most, there's the most differences between those two colors. All right, next question. Flynn's, a god of death, is often represented as a skeleton with a blank on his shoulder.
Lion.
Lion?
You would be correct. I see someone's been doing some reading. All right. One more question. This is the last one. Which season is Vesna goddess of? Winter, autumn, summer, or spring?
Winter? No, wait.
Spring.
Autumn? Maybe? Winter? Autumn?
Final answers?
Oh, crap.
I'll just go with spring.
Autumn?
Okay. Ella is correct. You're not Izik. I'm sorry. That means that Ella wins this lightning quiz. So I don't know what you get. You get the satisfaction of having beaten Izik in a fight to the death. Sorry, Izik. Rest in peace.
Next time. It won't
All right.
be so easy.
Thank you for tuning in to this episode of Cryptids and Creatures. Join us next episode for another glance into the unknown, and don't forget to subscribe to Red Devil Productions for more content like this.